Are we live? Are we live? Looks like it. Happy New Year and welcome to the very first live/video. Hopefully one of many of 2026. Same setup. Since last year, we got the same old posters up on the wall. Young Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and my life tracker that humbles me every time I look at it. It's basically 4,696 individual squares, each square representing 1 week of my life. And we've already lived like 1,100 weeks. Incredible how 1/4 of my life is already over. But yeah, all those things aside, sub goals reached. Created the channel around March, I believe, and reached 11 subs. Not that it matters, but all of them are my friends or friends of friends. So I've set up 25 as the goal for this year. Not shooting too far because, like I said, at this phase, I don't care about how many subs I have or likes or the viewership rate and whatnot. So even if we hit like 14 new people who have subbed, who are strangers, I guess that would be an incredible achievement. Right? So anyways, it's been a month and a half since my last live, and it's already Jan 31st, which is what is surprising to believe, that a month has already, 1/12 of the year is already over. So yeah, basically I'm in a transitionary period between I'm actually in my last semester of university, and I'll be joining full-time work in about roughly 5 to 7 months. So, and all that I have to do in terms of college work this semester is just one single coursework that carries all the credits. I believe like 18 to 20 credits is just one coursework, which is just a major project thing that I need to work on. And that also is incredibly easy to do, and it's not very time consuming at all. I mean, I would probably work like 100 to 150 hours in total over this last 6 months of my college. Basically, they've done it this way because in general, engineering colleges, the last semester is for the kids to find themselves a job, right? Whether be it McDonald's or Microsoft, they got to find themselves a job, and for that they don't want to add more workload to the kids, and that is the logic behind having a one single coursework. But because I've already gotten a job, subtle flex, in this job market, surprisingly, I don't have anything that I need to do. So everything that I'm doing right now or plan to do is just something that I wish to do. So there is nothing that I need to do it. There is no mandatory work. But this is a huge, incredible golden time window that if used correctly, would just change the trajectory of my life going forward. And yeah, back to the topic of this video, which is 2025 rewind and 2026 life plans, 2026 plans. I guess it's a nice thing to do now, thinking that if I do a similar kind of video once a year, every year at the end of the year, it'd be a fun thing to look back at the year and then plan for the next year and then post it on the internet, basically like a time capsule. So like if I look back a decade or a two or a decade and a half from now, when I'm 35, at like the 14 videos of over the years, I guess it'll be very, very fun to look at and see what has happened, what has not happened, so on and so forth. Like they always say, when man plans, God laughs, which is kind of true. So nothing, there's a very, very high chance that whatever plan that you've kept for yourself, you will obviously modify it as time goes by. Without any further ado, on to the video. I do intend to make this a full length video. I feel like the sub goals would go up eventually. Reason is I plan to post at least like one video a quarter. So there's 2 more months until I need to post my first video. So I need to write script for it. So that is why I've had 25 as the sub goal, because I don't think if I keep posting live stream, I don't think we are ever hitting that number of strangers looking at my content. But if I post high quality video, that number would, a very, very, very good chance that it would go up. So on to the topic, 2025 rewind. We'll first look at 2025 rewind, and then we'll look at my plans for this year. Again, I guess it would be a nice thing to look back. So what has happened in 2025? In no particular order, and if something is mentioned one below another, it doesn't mean that that thing was not impactful enough. So yeah, first of all, did couple of internships, 2 internships. One that went from last December to March, and another one from I guess March to July or something. So that is a huge thing actually too, because when I sat down to actually think what really happened, I couldn't find anything. But when I sat down and then I wrote it, I was like, maybe something happened this year and it was not a complete waste of time. Number 2, I bought from my own money, from my internship stipend, the mechanical keyboard that I'm currently using, this one over here, and the microphone that I'm currently using. Both of them are bought from the internship stipend that I received. One moment, let me check the video. Yes, it is running fine. So that thing is something that I'm really, really proud of. This second point over here. Besides that, both of them cost like 9K, which is a huge amount to spend on additional accessories. And number 3, finally started a YouTube channel in March of 2025. Okay, March 16th of 2025. Finally started a YouTube channel. Starting a YouTube channel has been a long-term goal / wish / desire of mine. I mean, which Gen Z kid does not have that desire, right? Because we've all grown up watching people on the internet, the West especially, whether be it gaming, YouTubers, or people who react to stuff. So it's sort of like something that everybody has. This is something that everybody has. And finally started that YouTube channel. Cannot say I scaled it to 11 subs because everybody who have subbed are my friend. Posted 23 videos, which is, let's ignore the views and the subs, but let's look at the videos. Videos is something that I'm proud of. I never thought I would post 23 videos, considering I started at the third month and I had the channel running for the last 9 months. Which is like what, almost like two plus videos a month on an average. So goal for this year would be something like to double the number, or like something like at least the same number of live streams. So like 23 live streams, and then like maybe one video a quarter, one recorded video a quarter. I guess this is something that I'm incredibly proud of. That's point number 2 and point number 3. Incredibly proud that I bought shit with my own money instead of asking my parents for the mic and the keyboard. And incredibly proud that I started my own channel. I did a few hackathons with my friends and published one research paper, which was hard. I spent a lot of time working on it. Now looking back, I don't think it's something that I would end up using in the future as a leverage. So it's kind of a waste of time, but it's sort of vanity, okay? You can just say to people that, okay, I've published research papers. I guess if you're not going to do masters, it's just a vanity metric. But it's a nice thing. Spending a lot of hours working on it over the months, and then finally presented it at a conference, and it's now published. Point number is that 5 or 6? 6. Did a lot of late night gaming with friends. Minecraft, Scribble, random games. I guess even Roblox. Yeah, 21-year-old playing Roblox. Yeah, I spent a lot of time gaming with my friends. There's a lot of late night laughs that I don't regret. Staying awake. Right? I don't regret staying awake till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. playing games with my friends. That is something great. Next point. Diagnosed. This was surprising. This was heavy hitting. I was diagnosed with autoimmune disorder, and I lost hair at like 2 or 3 different patches on my head, and I had to cover it up. And this was heavy hitting in terms of as far as mental health is concerned, and very surprising too. And there's some relation to stress that involves, but it's mostly genetic. I mean, it's not inherited, right? That mutation could or could not happen in your gene. And if it's there, whenever the immune system feels threatened, it would start attacking. Basically, autoimmune it's basically attacking its own body, and it has chosen to attack my hair scalp. It's a very weird thing to look at, right? It's like your own army of your kingdom suddenly waking up one night and then deciding to do a military coup over your kingdom, right? Thankfully, it attacked my hair though. There are worse cases on the internet. It could affect things like lungs, the bronchioles, kidney, liver. It could affect any of those things. And if it affects the liver, the only way to cure it is liver transplant or something. But at least I could be like, it affected something that's not life-threatening. So diagnosed with autoimmune disorder and lost a bunch of my hair. And tried treatment for around 5 to 6 months. And when I stopped the treatment, all the progress was lost. So basically, I woke up one day and then I took a shower, I shampooed, and then I spotted a huge spot of nothingness on my head. And then I went and I treated it. The doctor suggested a treatment. We did it for 5 to 6 months. There was progress. And when the treatment was stopped, all the progress was lost, right? Imagine spending like 6 months 180-day plus, um, and then you believe that it's going to work, and then it doesn't work. So that was heavy eating as well. But I finally managed to combat the disease with a different treatment, got all the spots filled up. It was through tablets. I suppress my immune system to not attack my own hair, and then I rebuild the memory of my immune system. It's very unidentifiable. Now it's almost as if I never lost my hair at those spots. Although the current treatment where I consume tablets to suppress my immune system do sap my overall energy, right? I feel less energetic compared to 2 years ago. But that is a side effect of consuming this medication. So this is a big thing that I dealt with this year. Very eventful. Another eventful thing is the gruesome campus drive where I attended dozens of online assessments, got rejected, worked hard, I can say. For a few weeks, I guess, for 2 weeks, I guess, I was waking up at 4 a.m. and then sleeping at like 10:30, 11. Spent the whole day preparing. Managed to grab a few offers finally at the last quarter of the year, and I'm satisfied with the one that I currently have. Got actually 3 offers. This is my student stats from my job portal. On campus drive, applied to 177. Out of that, I probably wrote like 15 or something online assessment. Out of that, had like 7-8 interviews of different companies, and then from there I got 3 offers. So a 50% hit rate of getting a job. Not so bad on the grand scheme of things, right? And got 3 offers. 2 sucks. The final one that I chose to go with, which is a role at one of the big 4 firms. I guess I'm pretty satisfied, actually. I'm pretty satisfied. Considering how bad everything is, the world out there currently is, people trying to buy countries, and wars and inflation, the rupee depreciation, it's fucked. It's fucked. The job market is fucked. So, very much satisfied with the one that I got. This is another celebratory moment. Coming to stats of 2025, I have this weird ADHD / it's not ADHD, or OCD, where I started to log the number of times I do a particular activity. So, went to a stand-up comedy show for the first time with my friends. So that was something very eventful. And watched a lot of films, teared up / cried around 15 to 20 times, laughed a lot. Ran 29 kilometers. Is a huge dip from the year before, where I ran close to 200 kilometers. So I don't know why it was such a low number. Car driven roughly 200 to 250 kilometers. The longest, I guess I started learning to drive the year before, 2024 March or something. And then 2025, I've driven over 200 to 250. Another small thing that I'm proud of / happy for. Did cut my hair for around 8 to 10 times. Cooked a few meals by myself from scratch. I cooked biryani, I cooked multiple salads, and few other South Indian dishes. Books read, 1. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Although Meditations by Marcus Aurelius is like Bible, right? It's something that one must keep reading it over and over their period of life, because it's not something you read once and then throw it away. It's an incredible philosophical piece of art that one must really ingest, and it's very timely. So it's something like the Bible or Bhagavad Gita, where you need to keep reading it over and over. Reading it as in like not going from page 1 to page 300, but like randomly opening a page and then going over the quotes or the verses that's there, and then really sit and introspect and then see how you can implement it. So that is 2025 Rewind. Incredible year, very eventful. Like I said, I thought it was not eventful before sitting to write all of this, but after writing all of this, I feel like it's quite an incredible year. So yeah, that is my rewind. Is the stream still running? It is still running. All right. 2026 life goals. I first had greatness is coming as the motto / theme of the year. Then I stroke it off and then I went and chose consistency is coming, because that is a better skill to target towards. And goals for this year: do 300 problems on lead code, despite me getting a job at consulting, which is tangential, and there'll be very little coding involved because it's a tech consulting role, right? So there is coding involved. But compared to a dev role, let's say something like Amazon or whatever, this role, a tech consultant at a big four will not code much comparatively. So I still want to keep my options open, right? Suddenly, if I decide to move from the consulting ladder to back to the developer ladder, I should be able to switch jobs when I have a change of interest. So trying to build my skill then in computer science, say in data structures and algorithm, or like learning a development thing like AIML or Web3, at that time would be incredibly difficult because I would be managing a full-time job, so on. So doing this now, when I have 6 months to kill, is my logic behind having all of this as my goal. So first one is 300 lead code problems over 12 months. Fun fact, 1 month is already over and I've not done a single problem. But anyway, that is bound to change, right? Next month as usual. I'm going to say it one more time. Next month, tomorrow is the day. Sculpt an aesthetic physique. Basically, go from underweight to plus 8 kilos, ideally 65 kilograms by the end of year. Consistently do workout, calisthenics, skills, yoga, and stretching routines, right? I've managed to create a weekly routine plan for physique that focuses on flexibility, that focuses on few calisthenic skills like handstands and L-sit, and strength / muscle building. And then what else? Running. So these are the 4 different domains: running, flexibility, muscle, skills. I've managed to create a very fleshed out, comprehensive plan that I'm following at least like 2 out of 7 days a week. So ideally, increase like 8 kilos over the next 11 months. Publish 4 YouTube videos, 1 video a quarter. Complete the course that I've enrolled in, which is would give me reasonably intermediate knowledge in web development, stack like React, TypeScript, DevOps, applied agentic AI, Web3, things like Rust, Solana. So complete that course that I've enrolled, which is a very, very intensive course. And then finally invest a lakh of rupees by the end of year. I know I'm currently don't have an internship, don't actually want an internship. So I would start job maximum by August. So from there, by the end of the year, I would love to invest. I want to invest at least a lakh of rupees. Q1 goals. 1 by 3 of the Q1 is already over. 75 lead code problems. Reach 60 kilograms, which is 3 more or 2.5 to 3 more than what I currently am at. I hate eating, to be very frank. So that is a much more difficult thing than a lead code problem. Publish 1 video. I have started to write script, so that's a good sign. And then sit and do 200 hours of development. This includes both watching the videos of the course and also coding. And tertiary Q1 goals is something like I want to read 2 books a year, and I want to improve my. I've always admired people who can quickly calculate things at the top of their head, like quickly do the arithmetics at the top of my head. Not that I'm slow, but I would love to become the type of person who, if you like throw him something like, what is 33% of 275k USD, quickly arrive at the figure in like less than 3 to 5 seconds. I always admire those people who can do that. So I have this as my goal. All of this I'm maintaining as a journal where I have my habit tracker over here that you can see over different domains. Basically, I've taken the goals, set my yearly goals, split them into 4 quadrants. So chunked it into, taken the goal, chunked it into, and then chunked it one more time as what things, if I do, would make it inevitable. So here are some of my goals. I track my weight. This photo is taken the first day of the month or third day of the month. So there's not much values here. So one thing that I want to do is track my weight, sleep for 7 hours a day, drink 2.5 liters of water, workout, lead code, dev, write YouTube scripts, practice arithmetics, read books, and then flexibility routine. So I have this diary or a journal. So I wake up every day, I just sit and create something like this, like basically so something like this. I don't know, I guess it's flipped. So I guess there's no point in me showing the journal. So basically I write the date, I write the day, and then I write down all the tasks for the day or the events for the day. Like if it's a birthday of somebody, I need to talk to somebody, I need to go get some groceries, whatever tasks I have, I write it here. And then the picture that you saw, this one, the calendar on the left, is for me noting down the highlights of the month, of the day. So something like I went to movies with my friends, bought an instrument, something that a highlight. that I want to look back and then read. And then on the right is my habit tracker. Very consistent at the initial 2 weeks of the month, and then it sort of dipped down to pretty much nothing. And then maintaining small running log as well. I use Strava to calculate it, and then calculate my distance pace. And then this month I've ran about 13.2 kilometers, which is already almost half of my entire year's run of last year. So that's pretty good. Besides that, what do I want to do? I want to explore life skills and hobbies. So don't want to be that guy who is just very unidimensional. Somebody who is just focused on making money or climbing the corporate ladder. Just want to be the kind of person who has a personality to him rather than a quote unquote corporate slave slash a robot that is just that is just good at one thing. So I just want to explore things like cooking and ukulele. This is something that I bought 2-3 days ago. So I bought myself a ukulele that you can see over here 3 days ago, and I managed to compose a song in 3 days, which is something that has never been heard by the world before. See if you can. Yeah, this is something that I composed myself, okay? So if somebody plagiarizes this song, I would be extremely angry. This is something that the world has never seen before. I bought the instrument 3 days ago and I managed to compose this song by myself, this piece. So yeah, this is something that I bought this 3 days ago, but I've been fiddling with it for like an hour daily, and I'm starting to say I really, really like how incredible this is to play, the joy that it brings. And when I sat there and I was like, okay, I need to learn some musical instrument and I need to get back to singing. I was learning singing for like 5 years when I was a kid, and then I dropped it. I wanted to get back into singing, and then I wanted to learn an instrument on the side as well. And I was thinking, okay, what's something that I can buy? And I wanted to, I love attention. I love when people clap. Who doesn't, right? But I'll be honest, yeah. So I wanted to develop something that would make people go wow, and also that would give me joy. So I sat there and I researched what is something that is extremely portable. What is that instrument that is extremely portable? What is that instrument that can be used to play pretty much any song in the world? What is that instrument that is also easy to learn compared to things like a flute, which is portable and can be used to play any song, but it is not easy to learn? Then I found out this cute little but incredibly powerful. It looks big on the camera, but it's actually incredibly small. Incredibly small. So, very happy with this decision. I thought of buying a guitar, but then compared to guitar, this is ultra portable, right? I can just, this is like almost, this is smaller than my upper body length, my torso length. And you can pretty much replicate 95% of the songs. So that is the decision that I went with. Ukulele, get back to singing, learn more ukulele, maybe like 15-30 minutes a day, every day. Explore cooking, improve my communication skills, like actually sit and work on it. How do I speak? Improve my tonality, improve my vocabulary, improve my sentence structure, the grammar, the places that I take pauses at, and then go to places, which is a wow, go to places. That's a very convoluted way of saying traveling. So, want to travel? And filmmaking. That is something that I want to do. Like get into basically when I post the YouTube videos, right? Get into things like how do I write better scripts? How do I improve storytelling? How do I improve the way my video output is rendered, camera work, lighting, video editing as well, and reading different books. There is this quote that goes like, I feel incredibly sorry for those people who does not have reading as a habit because they have actively chosen to not live and experience 1,000 lives. That quote, it goes something like that. It goes something like, I feel incredibly sorry for those people who does not have the habit of reading books because they are missing out on living 1,000 lives. Books, right? I love non-fiction because of my obsession with trying to improve myself, the productivity porn books, right? But I want to get into fiction as well. Get into video editing, which would happen if I do the video goal. Yoga, self-care, magic tricks, which is basically card magic. I used to do it a lot when I was a kid, and then I dropped it. I tend to pick stuff up early on, like coding, magic, or even YouTube or whatever, and then I just drop it, okay? Singing. I pick things up very early when I was a kid. I was doing a lot of different things, but then I dropped it. Would have been 1,000 times better person than I am right now, but I decided to drop everything. Now, starting from sort of scratch. Maybe explore and improve my words per minute. Do journaling. Learn how to get better at Excel, Microsoft Excel, and maybe learn Hindi. These two skills would be incredibly helpful because Microsoft Excel and Hindi, because one, I'm gonna join as a tech consultant. So besides coding, I need to stare at sheets as well for the consulting role purpose, and Hindi as well because I'm a tech consultant. I will most likely move to a different state, the client's place, after the project is over. So after like every 6 months or 8 months or even after a quarter, I'll go to a place, work with the client, and then travel to a different state. Majority of the Indian states speak Hindi. Unfortunately, I belong to the state that stereotypically, why it's for some reason hates Hindi. I don't hate the language, but never really seemed to pick it up because it was a third language subject on my school. For second language, I picked Tamil, and so never really had the opportunity to properly learn it. So I want to learn Excel and maybe Hindi as well. Pick up a few words, pick up basic sentences. Next thing is to try out the gig economy. So something like driving for one of the ride sharing apps like Rapido or Uber or Ola, and then maybe deliver food um, for Zomato, Swiggy, or maybe deliver groceries. This is something that I want to try. Maybe like Thanos, I would love to, collect all the uniforms of all these uh, quick commerce applications, right? That would be pretty fun. Like him collecting the Infinity Stones, me collecting the different colored uh, uniforms, and then roughly figure out life. That is something that I want to do. Roughly figure out what direction that I want to take my life forward. Do a lot of introspection, run micro mini experiments on the faint dreams that I have. Feel like it's a nice time to explore all of them. And in no particular order, besides all of the 5 core goals that I want to achieve, out of this, the first 4 is the harder thing to implement. In no particular order, I want to do all of this as well. Maybe it's not mandatory. I'm not trying to add infinite things on my plate, but I would love for all of this to happen as well. Something like getting myself braces, fixing the corrections, tooth corrections, learning more ukulele, improving my communication skills, try to build a side hustle / a business where I go over the process, not to become rich, right? But to actually procedurally go over the process of collecting 1 rupee from a stranger. I guess that would really open up my brain, and it would expand my horizon of getting that 1 rupee from a stranger, not by begging, but by actually providing him some value and then him paying you in return some amount. 4th, post content on platforms like X, maybe a personal blog, some articles on Substack, on LinkedIn, maybe. And then 5, maybe try and get the run-of-the-mill certifications like AWS certifications or something different, entirely different, like statistics, economics, macroeconomy, something like game theory, which is something that's really, really cool. Number 6, join some larger than life communities. So something, some volunteering work or something that just looks at more things than my life, right? So something that helps the community, the country that I live in, the state that I live in, the district that I live in. So these are the primary goals. This is something that I'm not going to actively work on, but if this happens, I'd be even more happy, right? Cherry on top, basically. Ideally, what I want for a 2026 rewind, when I make a similar video end of this year or beginning of next year, what things, if happened, would I be extremely comfortable in my own skin? And would I call that year a successful year? I would be happy if all of these happen. And mind you, I'm not shooting big, right? All of these can be achieved with just consistent action over weeks and months. Besides that, I would be happy if I built a good high work ethic, build consistency by sticking to all the habits that I've mentioned before, which are also bound to change in the future, and build that self-reliance, right? Where my self-esteem is good and I can confidently rely on myself. So when I pursue something new or I'm tackling some new problem, I can be confident. I can be like, okay, I've done a lot of hard things before. I've managed to set up goals and achieve them. I've managed to be consistent. So when you do something like that, your self-esteem will improve. And that is what I want for me. I just want to build a good self-reliance. And last, I want to build that three things, right? Joy, which is different from happiness. Happiness is a transient feeling. Joy is a more static, blissful, semi-permanent feeling. Number two, peace. Like, not be too serious, right? Like, keep reminding myself that this life is a game and there is no meaning to life, and not to play the game with a serious face on or with too much emotion, right? Like, remove emotion out of the actions that I do on a day-to-day basis. If I'm trying to do something, not be too focused on the result, but just enjoying the process. And then lastly, be proactive. Laziness is something that a lot of us deal with. This is what I want to do as well. I tend to daydream a lot and fantasize a lot. So I just want to be mindful and be actively participate and be proactive. And actively participate at whatever is in front of me and at life. So this is, I guess that's it. So this is the 2025/2026 rewind, life rewind, 2026 life goals and 2025 rewind. I've received even more clarity and calmness after recording this video, after writing it all on this canvas, because it makes things certain. My actions that I'm going to commit to more certain. So that is pretty much it. That is all that I've planned for this live stream. If I want to hit my one video a quarter goal, if I got to work incredibly, I got to work a lot of hours for it over the next 2 months, because the very first video that I want to post, I want it to be really, really special. That topic that I'm gonna make the video on is something really, really close to my heart, and I want to properly execute it. So yes, that is it for the video. That is it for the live stream. I told this will be a very short video. I thought it would only take like 25 minutes or something, but it's already 48 minutes. I've been live for 48 minutes. But yeah, glad I made this video. At least did not skip this month. I posted one video, which was today. Thank you so much for tuning in. There is 0 concurrent viewers, but yeah, if you're from the future, hope you're doing well. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and goodbye.